Gone for a minute anyway.
Side, Empress.
I know, right?
Gone for a
Man,
minute.
I'm used to talking on that side. Laid back with his showing none of here. Hands on the chair.
As soon as you get there, you might see everything out.
What you drink, baby? Like I said, I'm gonna have it set up. Like so when I go on vacation, like I said, all this time I have time.
You better take time on that vacation to sit your ass down somewhere and actually have a vacation.
Take my time working at that.
You go right ahead, buddy.
Welcome to another podcast episode of By the Grill Podcast. We got a great topic today. Before we introduce the cast, just want to thank everybody again for following YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're really pushing for the streaming of Spotify, and we got a lot of other streaming things we're working on. Like I said, I know I keep talking about the website, but that's in motion. Trust me. Once you get the website, you're gonna love it. It'll be worth the wait. And once you hit that link on that website, it'll take you to every streaming around the world. Whatever streaming is there, we're gonna be on it. Like I said, we got our hands mixed in that. I want to congratulate Crystal for graduating, coming fourth place in business class, South Alabama By the Grill Podcast. Big honor, for all the support from Mr. Nelson to all the other students. Hats off to you for showing so much love. And like I say, everybody tuning in, all the faithful followers. I throw Tasha out there, Miss Gwen Easley. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Now, Kenneth Dees, Hammer Friend, everybody, Mr. Hunt, everybody, just a lot of people who continue to follow every week. We thank y'all guys for Tim Lett. I'm just throwing a few names out there. I can't remember everybody, but just thank y'all for following every week. Like I said, it's a great podcast. Plan on being explosive over the world. One day we'll be syndication, we'll be on the radio. So you really be able to catch us worldwide. So right now, like I said, today's topic is one thing I want to mention. Chime in on the email. Saying you got one coming on before. So like I said, chime in on the email. Like I said, we're gonna respond to everything. But before we get to the days and put the thoughts on the firebox, get this train of smoking. I'm gonna introduce the podcasters first. Of course, the Empress Solange, and we got, of course, everybody's favorite director, aka Hammer, Mr. Devon. And I'm just playing old Dexter. I just give it to you where it is. So the thing is, today's topic is our in-laws. It's supposed to be I said it wrong. What's supposed to be? Dealing with in-laws in your relationships or in your life period. And when it comes to you and your significant other, dealing with in-laws. That's from cousins to mother-in-law, father-in-law, uncles, all that. All they supposed to be dealing in your relationship when you're trying to have a healthy relationship. Or, even bad relationship, but are they supposed to be involved? And, I'm going to throw it at the Empress first, and she's always to the right. And he'll see what she got to say on that. And I'm going to see. Go ahead, Slunch.
Well, in actuality, no one is supposed to be involved in your relationships except for you and your partner, your spouse. Is that to say that there shouldn't be relationships established with the in-laws, to where and maybe your partner may have a relationship with their family, or may need to feel the need to speak with them about some things that may be going on in your relationship, and nothing is wrong with that, because everybody needs somebody to talk to sometimes, but when it comes to whether the family should be involved in what is going on, no, they shouldn't. And everyone should respect everyone's relationship. If a person comes and talk to you about what is going on in their relationship, and that's between you and that person, maybe they're just talking to you to vent or maybe get some advice, and that's really tricky as well, so you have to be really careful. because a lot of times when that is done, the family member tends to form an opinion about the spouse or the partner, and that can be detrimental to a relationship as well. So it's just, a few different little reasons why I say they shouldn't be, hands-on involved in the relationship.
Well, let me ask you this real quick, and I'm going to throw this at Hammer as well. He can answer. If your mother came to you about your husband and said, he's no good, that's another, but you don't hear him every day, how would you feel about that? Which I tell you to leave him.
Well, I have a different kind of mom. She ain't going to get involved. She wouldn't even... Me and her can have a conversation about, like, what's going on in my relationships or whatever. But those relationships are strictly between she and I. She never takes that information and say, well, you need to leave that person or you shouldn't be with that. She may say, give you the advice like it may not be good or whatever the situation is. But at the end of the day, my mom, whatever conversations her daughters have with her, she still lets us make our own decisions. She never is like one-sided and will say like, you need to let him go on about his business. He ain't no good or nothing. She don't do any of that. What she mainly does is she listens, and if she can lend some advice, she does that. But at the end of the day, because even when the mess is even going on, my mother is still able to show love to that person and not be judgmental towards them.
Okay.
So my situation is a little different, and I'm thankful for that. So
I'm gonna pass on to the Hammer. What you say, Hammer?
First and foremost, that's I don't really have a dog in this fight, but with any situation, relationship wise, you have to take notability of who and when and how much you let somebody into your relationship, because it's truly your relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's why they say when you get married, your mom and dad and everybody else are secondary. You confide in your husband or your wife. And at the same time, for me, one of the worst people you can have in your relationship is family members or best friends, people who say they love you because they got a tendency to want to be on your side.
Correct.
You understand me? Now, if you want someone that's going to truly be for you and got doggone, they can sit and be non-partial, be non-judgmental. Because like Shalon said, a lot of times, some people just want to vent. It don't renders an opinion.
Right.
Just let them get some stuff out their chest, and that's all they really need to do. Sometimes it's not really needed, because like I said, one of the worst things in your relationship could be a loving parent or a loving friend who want to sit up here and make judgment calls that has nothing to do with them. You know what I'm saying? So we got doggone, if you want to be a true family member or a true friend, if it ain't nothing that's abusive or nothing like that, then remain non-partial and be that listening ear that that person just needs sometimes. Yeah. That's all you need to come to the table with.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Because, and then, you know what I'm saying, as far as in-laws or something like that, you know what I'm saying, you govern, and like I tell anybody, with time, anytime you're dealing with anybody in a relationship, anytime you're dealing with somebody, when you first meet them, they're sending their best representative. They're sending their best representative at you.
Yeah.
But if you truly want to see what that person like, pay attention.
Yeah.
Don't pay attention to what they're saying. Pay attention to what they're doing. Because guess what?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? No matter what goes on, over time, their true nature is going to slip out a lot of times without them even knowing it. All you got to do is pay attention and doggone focus on the situation. And guess what? It's just like playing spades. Don't show your hand at the beginning.
That's right.
Sit up there and wait it out, and you can collect little stuff at it, and while you collecting, you know what I'm saying? While you collecting, you're building
the best hand.
You're building the best hand of what's called. Don't show your hand so quick to where, oh nah, this a red flag. First of all, you're not gonna find anybody perfect.
Period.
Now you got to weed out what's good and what's bad, what you can deal with and what you can't deal with, and or give that person enough time. Because a lot of times, if you bring it to somebody, if they really care about you, they're willing to make that change for you. So you know what I'm saying. You might not start off with a good hand, but at the end of it, you know what I'm saying, they might have made changes enough to make your hand a perfectly well-rounded hand if they're willing to.
Right.
But like I said, anytime you're dealing in any relationship or whatever, you got to be mindful who you let in and who you calling. Because like I tell you, your best friend, your parents, or goddamn whatever, they got a tendency to want to be on your side. But the best way to be is non-judgmental and let that person just vent. Sometimes it doesn't even rate a rebuttal. Don't say nothing. Just let me get this off my chest because I just need to talk. I don't need you to say nothing.
Right.
Don't say a word. Just sit back and let me talk and got dog on what's called. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to realize you knew what you were getting into before then.
Yep.
Because I can assure you, before you married that person, while y'all were dating, you seen it and you choose not to doggone adhere to the dog on the one
and
side.
I think the reason why some people think they can change when they get married.
But see, that's the problem right there. There's no changing. There's no changing. You know what I'm saying? You got to realize it's certain stuff just like this right here. They say a drunk mind will speak a sober mouth. Well, look here. If this person was like this before you got married, now I got paperwork on you. Hell, I can really truly be myself, and I can really truly, you know what I'm saying, and all this stuff right here, because now I got more skin in the game. Pay attention to what's called, if somebody flocking more towards they got doggone parents acknowledgement or best friends acknowledgement towards what y'all got going on, then that's a red flag. Well, I was talking and mama told me, hold on, this ain't about mama, this me and your spot. This is what we doing. We're building a household here. We're doing this. I don't need insight from outside that's saying what we're doing ain't right or this and that, because it might be non-conventional towards you.
Right.
But if we can make this work, then this is between me and you. This has nothing to do with them. And what worked for their household ain't gonna work for ours.
Right.
Different time, different age. Oh, she would have never did that. Yeah, and your dad probably would have never had a stroke if he didn't have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Or to save himself. Oh, my dad don't do nothing. Go in his room and go and sit in his chair and do whatever. He don't argue. He don't fight. No, you know why? Because that man is preserving his peace.
You know, one thing I'm gonna say on that too. I've had been 2 marriages. I'm gonna let y'all know that. So I've had 2 sets of in-laws, and both of them had different dynamics. Both of them was involved in relationships. And the thing is, like I said, and a lot of people actually get y'all understand. Like I said this before on the podcast, when your parents light that candle, both sides, mother and father, both sides, light that candle. When the bride and groom grabbed his dad and mom candle, and the bride grabbed her dad and mom candle, and they go together in light, that means they separate themselves from y'all and became one. That means God said y'all got to get out the way. People think that since they're the parents, I had my child. Don't get me wrong, you protect the child. And they got beaten her head or she's running the streets. You know, yeah, you still get some opinion on that, but it's still up to that person if they're gonna stay in there or not. So the thing is, when you get involved just because you think because you had that child, you still got rights to say something, and you're married, you don't. So the thing is, you know, I just feel that when it comes down to a lot of the in-laws, like I said, both y'all said, they can ruin a relationship and make it better. If I got something to say, just listen to it. Don't go back and throw it back at my spouse and say, what y'all say you weren't doing this. That's not for them. No, I came you in private. If I came in private, like I said, I just want to get that off my chest.
Right, exactly.
So, but the thing is, most in-laws always, and a lot of them go off how their relationship was. If they had a bad relationship, they want to throw that same poison on yours. Because a lot of them don't want to see you happy.
That and they just don't know how. I tell you, anybody, when you go into your relationship with your husband or your wife, treat your relationship like you treat your bedroom. You don't want your mom and dad to know what y'all doing in there. You don't want them to know the kind of freaky shit y'all got going on in that bedroom. So why would you go tell them about our personal business? Treat what we got going on just like you treat our bedroom. This is not privy. Y'all are not privy to this part of our life. You know what I'm saying? For all intents and purposes, y'all should be clueless to what goes on. You know what I'm saying? As far as what
we know what they did.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Cause you never knew when your mom and dad were getting it on, and never did that. Hey,
I walked in on mine before. It ain't pretty.
Yeah, but that's because you know what I'm saying. You a sick
two
kid.
dinosaurs fight each other.
I cannot.
You're a sick kid, and he can talk trash now because they ain't here.
Right.
Because you know what I'm saying. You ain't finna get nobody around here messed up. You know what I'm saying? Well, they gotta fight. You know what I'm saying? They gotta fight mom and daddy when they go to the house. I heard what you said listening to that boy. You know what I'm saying? So no, you sit up there, man, but in a situation, man, always be mindful of how many and who you allow to comfort you in a situation. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what friends you have. Mm-hmm. You know you got that friend that's ride or die. You know you got that friend that's logical. You know you got that friend that's overly emotional. Yeah. You know you know what friends you have, and some you should talk to about certain shit.
Right.
Any friend that comes to you, if they don't have general hard knowledge of what your other half is doing, or I seen him with a girl tongue down, or this and that, or they just going off total speculation, then you need to leave them out of it.
Yeah, because worst advice is opinionated advice.
You know what I'm saying?
The worst.
And you know what? You know, I'm the type of person where I'm a praying person. Mm-hmm. I believe in God. I believe whatever it is out there for me to know, it's going to come to me. I don't have to go look for it. I don't have to do any of that. So, you know, I have one particular cousin. I love her to death. I ain't going to call her name. But I call her
What her initial start with?
I call her CNN. KW.
Woo! Crip. Oh, no, I thought you were talking
Okay. So
we being messy. Now you know who her best cousin is. So the rest of y'all don't mean nothing. I'm just letting y'all know.
CNN, because baby, if it was some news out there to know, she was gonna know it, and she was gonna bring it back to you, right? So, just out of respect for her and my marriage, I just had to tell her, because I was hearing a lot of things, you know, and I was like, from now on, just don't tell me anything. If I ain't saying, I'm not saying that he ain't out there doing whatever it is that he's doing. He probably absolutely is. But let me find out on my own. I promise you, God will reveal it and put it in my lap.
Absolutely.
For me to see it. And it's going to be irrefutable, because he's going to give me everything that I need to know about these situations. Correct. You know, I said, so, you know, I just want you to stay out of when you see him.
And it's not because
you see him or whatever.
Yeah, and it's not because I don't trust your word.
Right.
It's not because I don't trust your word. It's because God doggone.
You know, I'm probably believing.
You know from the jump. Until a person is ready to leave their other half, if you choose to comment on it, now you're bringing another turmoil, another doggone animosity into their relationship. Because if that man or that woman finds out, oh, you said that, now I'm holding a grudge against you anytime you think you want to come to my house.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? No, because you know what I'm saying, you running your mouth about something you don't know about. So that's an added, you know what I'm saying, hurdle in your relationship. When you go, because now, oh, that's my friend, that's my girl, that's my cousin, or that's my mama. Okay, but look, I don't want them at my damn house if they're gonna talk about me some kind of way. So you eliminate that. You eliminate that by saying, hey, as you being a good friend or parent, I'm gonna need you to sit back and let me go through this. If it's something detrimental or something physical that need to be handled, God doggone, for sure, I want you to step in. But on general knowledge, I just need you to sit back, because I want to preserve any piece of peace I have within this relationship, and I don't want you to be the cause of nothing. Because like she said, when God reveals it to her, she gonna leave, and ain't nobody gonna go until they ready.
Right.
So you sit up here and get all your friends alienated, and now that's a bigger hurdle now, because now, oh, you done chased all my friends
now
away.
You alienated, right?
You know what I'm saying? Now it's a bigger turmoil because you feel like you have nobody because of that person. When no, it ain't because of that person, because your people choose to butt in and do this stuff right here, and you wasn't ready to go yet. You wasn't, by all intents and purposes, you wasn't fed up.
What you saying too? Look, and that same young lady who got in her head, or turn go after the man she just left behind.
I don't know about all that.
I'm saying, no, listen, I'm telling you. Listen, I never had. A lot of times you might have that person, that in-law that just had a failed relationship and see her relationship so good, and they get so upset about it, they'll try to ruin that relationship, turn right in, they don't know, knock on the door, that's happened. But the thing I'm saying is that I just think they need to keep their distance, because if that person not being treated bad, not being dog, especially being treated good, all because you had fair relationship, stay out.
And see, that's what they do. They go off what they've learned and all that. So they look for stuff that's not even there, and they comment on stuff that because that's what you went through. You know what I'm saying? And then I tell them all the time, hey, I didn't find my old man in the nightclub or my old lady in the nightclub, but that's where you found all yours at, and that's where you got all your trauma from.
And what you expect
You know what I'm saying? So what you gonna get out of it? You know what I'm saying? You stop digging in a gold mine expecting to find some platinum. You gonna get exactly what you got doggone hunting for.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So don't try to judge minds off what you've been through. You know what I'm saying? Because not all men is out here trying to do this. You got men that can truly go out with their friends, just to have a drink and a good time with their boys. Not everybody is trying to holler at some young lady or something like that. And you feel you got something that feels a certain kind of way. Gary, what, you let him go on a trip by himself, or you let him go out with his boys all the time? Yeah. Why? Because he need that, she need that doggone release time. Every couple need a holiday far away from each other. Yeah. You understand me? You need time. Like I tell people, I used to tell them.
You agree with that?
Oh yeah. They need you know what I'm saying? Because you got to have something to come back and tell your person. If every day I'm with you and all this stuff, what the hell we got to talk about? You were with me the whole time. We ain't got nothing to talk about. I don't want to talk to you no more. We're going to talk all day.
Throw some salt on that. If y'all got a mature relationship and y'all truly love each other, y'all always have something to talk about. Do you need a break? That's fine. What I'm saying is, it shouldn't be, which they probably know what I'm talking about, a girls trip once a month. That's not a girls trip. So the thing is, if you gotta have a girls trip once a month, that ain't no girls trip. And then the in-laws all.
It's a girls trip, but it's some wang floating around there.
Absolutely, it's some wang swinging.
You know what I'm saying? It's some wang floating around up in there. It's a girls trip, but it's some wang floating around.
The wang trying to find the platinum that you said they ain't got.
You know what
So
I'm
the
saying?
thing is, and I'm just saying, you know, and I just feel that on my experience that the in-laws will tap so much stuff, especially because they got that blood thicker than water. The blood's thicker than water, no matter what. That spouse go mess around with the neighbor, the dog, parent, all of them. And then you come in and say, well, get upset about it. First thing they do, they get mad with the husband because he upset, or the wife, or vice versa, because they confront that relative about you messing around on me. But they'll take up for that relative because they say blood thicker than water. They don't see that person's out of line. So they'll influence that spouse, man or woman, to say, you don't need him. Girl, you need to be by yourself. Blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, then as soon as they leave, and next thing later down the line, the fine spouse, they bitter. You can't see your kids. You can't, girl, and the in-laws again, don't let him see he ain't no good. But you want to talk out of that relationship from the start. So the thing is, especially the mothers, you understand, just because you birthed them don't mean you still over them. They're grown now. They're grown people.
And if you raise them in the right way and to respect themselves, they're not gonna go out there and let nobody else disrespect them. No matter how much love they have for that person, they're gonna have love for themselves even more.
Absolutely.
So when and then you grew up with your mama, you grew up with your dad. You know what kind of person they is. You know what kind of turmoil they went through, and you know what you want in your household. So if you got that motherfucker, that's
you still gonna be protective of your kids, I guess.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're gonna be protected. But at the same time, I'm talking about as a kid looking at their parents. You know what kind of parents you have. You know what I'm saying, how boisterous or demanding or whatever your father or your mother is. You know that, and you've seen it, and you've seen that doggone how it can clam up a relationship. Somebody's gonna give in that motherfucker, whether it's the female or the male. Somebody's gonna give, and guess what? They're gonna shut down on the other side. You may look for that controlling person. Oh, it's gravy for them because now nobody's arguing back and forth with you, but you don't know it's another person that has checked out of the relationship on that notion. You know what I'm saying? That's a bigger bridge. Nobody should be in a relationship where the other half has checked out.
Yeah,
you understand me?
You know what? And to be honest, and we see it all the time, and it's crazy, and you wonder how it happens. A lot of time, your children end up getting somebody completely opposite of the parents.
Of course. Mm-hmm. Of course.
How that happens, I don't know.
I'm telling you how it happens because they've seen what their parents have done and they want better or they want different.
I'm speaking in the terms where, like what you were saying, they know not to be disrespected and stuff like that because they seen this with their parents.
And they're gonna pick out somebody totally
They
opposite.
pick out somebody totally opposite from what they grew up with. You know what I'm saying? So, mothers, even fathers with their daughters, you're protective. That's your
Absolutely.
job.
That's good
It
stuff.
doesn't end just because your child gets married.
Correct.
Are you supposed to impose yourself into the relationship? No, you're not. But at the end of the day, parents are going to always be parents.
Well, absolutely.
They're going to always be
That's the nature.
protective of their children. That's just the nature. So we're going to talk about, like, if those relationships are just super bad and the parent knows it, like, are their hands tied to where they can't say, well, you know, you don't, when you see on a daily basis that your child is being mistreated, abused,
Absolutely, you got
or,
jump.
you know what I'm saying? So
I mean that,
It's different.
and you had to,
It's
especially as fathers with daughters. You know what I'm saying? We have to approach that with wearing velvet gloves when we're dealing with our daughter's relationship. Because at the same time, I want you to be able to come talk to me, but in the same aspect, I don't want to blow off in a way to where you'll shut down on me, or you'll sit. Because guess what? You'll sit up here, and my daughter had a bad thing with Dad. I ain't say this because I ain't want you to go to jail. I know what you're gonna do. So you have to do stuff in a way that eases their mind at the same time. Hey, look at baby girl. I just want to talk to you. I can't say if it is or not, but I just want you to be mindful of this. Pay attention to this, and just look out for certain situations. And then before everything, I want you to have a respect for yourself that got doggone no one can take from you and no one can give. You know what I'm saying? No matter you're my daughter, got doggone yes, sir, but the respect and love that you deserve and you should have for yourself, no one can take that away from you, and only God can got doggone judge you on certain stuff. Because no matter what, you're my daughter, but you're grown. And if I ain't never got doggone chastised you or did you like that, why would you let an outside man that was raised by somebody else choose to do so? So I'm just telling you on the note of, I see certain things. I just want you to be aware of this. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you nothing. I'm just telling you, be mindful of your surroundings and what's going on, and pay attention. And if your mind is telling you something, goddamn it, I can assure you it's about that. You know what I'm saying? Don't trick yourself. We got a tendency, we would trick ourselves into something because it's something we wanted.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Be mindful of what you got. Oh, girl, that nigga right there, girl, I'm talking about that, his walk, his swag, you know what I'm saying? The way he dressed, this and that, all the car he drive, this and that, oh girl, he just so said that and that. But you seen, the nigga got about 5 baby mamas and he ain't taking care of none of you ain't seen him bring none of his kids around. Y'all been dating for goddamn 2 years. You gonna tell me it's not a red flag? That's a red flag. But you want to settle down with somebody who's not
And a lot of
doing that
times
shit.
that parent can't detect that.
Yeah, they detect it. You know what I'm saying? They because why?
I get better on that.
They're on the
Y'all
outside
be on
looking in. But like I said, it's your delivery. You got to learn how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying. As a parent, we was always, you know what I'm saying. Hey, I'm protective mode, and what I'm saying is going. It's God. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. No. But in a certain aspect, when it comes to matters of the heart, you have to come at your kids in a different perspective and not bark orders, and just come at them in a way where it's got doggone more concerning, more, you know what I'm saying, lovable than you would really want to, in order for the point to get across when it comes to matters of the heart. You have, you know what I'm saying, especially matters of the heart, because goddamn, you can come barking orders on all this stuff, and all you're going to do is push them away, and you can push them into the arms of that same bastard you're trying to run them from, whether it's male or female.
Yeah, but that still goes back to the point. Like I said, even though they're married or with that person, they're still making that decision. Like I say, like Salon had to pick up on that. Like she said, you raise children a certain way. You know, God said, teach a child as go and they go on to depart from it. You teach them that, but when they get into that fleshly thing, like you said, they get in that flesh thing. See them with the muscle, you know, like I said, you got this walk, this and other, you know, like I'm describing myself when I was young. But anyway,
Chris said she missed that part.
yeah.
Chris said she missed that part.
Oh, she did. So the thing, she still whistles every once in a while. So the thing is, from my good side. But the thing is, you know,
She looking at his feet.
13, y'all. But anyway, but the thing is, you know, and when you got a good man, a bad in-law run that good man out because they're not what they had or what they missed on. They'll tell that person, you don't need him. He just too. It's something right about it. They want to be a little thuggish. They want to be a little rough. Or like you said, most people that get involved in your relationship are the ones who had bad experience and want you to have the same thing because they don't want to see you happy. And that's majority of.
And a lot of times it's not even that they don't want to see you happy; it's just that they don't know how to be happy themselves. So, on the aspect of that right there, you have to go into everything with an open arms, but mindful of God doggone certain traits that God doggone you can see and you pick up on it. You choose to ignore it because of the love you have in your heart. No, be true to yourself on every aspect. There's a lot of stuff you can and can't deal with in a relationship, and you should God doggone you depict what I can and can't deal with, but be honest with yourself. Is this a true deal breaker for the long run? Can I deal with this? Can I deal with that? Because like I tell you, don't go up there more arguing or telling somebody about every little thing that you figure is wrong. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that is also a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? Look, nobody's going to be perfect, so nobody's going to get everything you like or how you want it right. You understand me? So
you got to build on it.
You know, that, and you got to pick your battles. You understand me? Nobody's going to have every little corner and crook that you want and not going to answer everything how you answer and not going to say things how you want to say it. But if you choose to say something about everything that person is doing, guess what? That is a hostile environment. Like a person, you can tell them, well, I can't tell how I feel. I can't express how I feel. Yes, you can, but you don't have to. You understand me? Yes, you can, but you don't have to. It's certain stuff that, you know what I'm saying, you don't have to tell whether it's male or female. You don't tell that person every time that you feel like this is something you wouldn't have did or you don't like it like this, like that. Every time, no. Pick and choose your battles. Because if not, you creating a house environment. Like I tell anybody, this is one of the sayings I love to say. Who want to kiss the mouth for the person that's chewing their ass all day? Every day. Who wants to do that? No. That's why I say pick your battles. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't like the way he put the dish in the sink or something. Okay, that's not detrimental. Save that shit for something else, something a lot more serious. Don't every little goddamn incident don't rates a goddamn a conversation.
Well, let me say this right here. What if that in-law, no matter how good the person is, they might not just don't like him, period. I mean, you got a lot of them like that. They don't like that person, period, you married, being with, they hate them. And that hate lasts for a long time. No matter, you could have gave them a pot of gold. Then what about that type of in-law? The one that just don't like you, period. No matter what you've done, you can go in there and cut the grass, cook a meal, take them out there, they just hate you, period. What about that type of in-law? We supposed to accept that type of in-law.
That's on
But
them.
but what you're saying,
that's a
the
them
in-law,
problem.
yeah.
It's nothing that you can do about it.
And then,
especially if you haven't done anything to them, you're not doing anything detrimental to your spouse or your partner, that is on them, and there's nothing that you can do about it. If y'all could be cordial with each other and in the same space and respect each other, then let it be that. And let it be there. Correct. You know what I'm saying? But
and let it be known as that. Because like say, look, no. Hey, look, your dislikes and hatred. Yeah, your dislikes or this hatred of this person has no merit towards our relationship.
Right.
So this has nothing to do with you on that note. So I respectfully and honestly, I tell you, I respect everything you got to say. But on the note of my husband, I would ask you to refrain from saying anything against him, because he didn't marry me for you. I don't know one person that stepped up to the altar to marry that woman or man because they love the hell out their dad or their mama. I don't know not one of them. You gotta be in it for that person that you in front of, that's you saying I do. I ain't went to not one person to say, hey man, I like your mama so much, man. Your dad, man. Yeah, let's get married, man. Solely on what they got going on.
Person. I think you are.
And truth be told, and this is just the honest truth, some fathers will never like no man
that'll be good enough
ever for their daughter. Some mothers will never like no man ever, or never like no woman ever for their sons. That's just the way it is. Can you is there anything that you can do to correct that? Probably not, if that's the way that they feel. They're not gonna look at what you've done good or anything.
Yeah,
like
to
that.
do what I do is
You're
sit
with
back.
your daughter.
Right.
That's enough for them not to like you.
You know what I'm saying? Just
And,
sit
you
back,
know, it
sit
is
back
what
and
it
keep your
is.
gun cocked and get ready to say, hey, I ain't gonna comment on nothing, but if the time comes, I'm ready.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna sit back and let you do everything you want to do. If he make you happy in this note, and it got
Yeah.
doggone, I don't. That's parts of your life I don't get to see, and I shouldn't be privy to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I sit back with a knowledge of knowing I gave you what I can on respecting yourself and got doggone anything in a relationship. Now, as a father, I'm gonna sit back respectfully and wait and pray the time never comes. But if it do, I'm locked and loaded. I'm ready, and I'm ready to do what I've been ready to do this whole time.
I done seen your stash.
You know what I'm saying?
I done seen your stash.
So at any time, you just gotta ensure to your kids like, hey, look, I'm not in your relationship. That has nothing to do with me. But at any time, I want you to know I'm always on go for you.
Here.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna comment on nothing. But I'm always on go for you.
Right. And, you know, I think majority of it was that parent. That's why I like to meet both sides. That way I can see how he came up, see how his dad and his mom act, or see how she act like any one of them. Because the thing is, you can really tell on a lot of that as well. Because the thing is, like I said, when you meet someone, you don't know nothing about them. When you first start, everybody know that.
Yeah,
When you get
that
deeper in the
best
relationship,
representative.
you meet their parents, you will see where they get them from. If that parent ain't saying, I want you to come here and, let me meet your son, tell that girl that, that should be a red flag right there. I wanted to make sure, I was raised away, make sure you meet that person. Make sure mom met them. Because that's the way I was raised. Everybody ain't the same. But the thing is, some of my in-laws pointed out, and I'm not throwing up under my first marriage, it was like, they ain't no good for you. Even some of her folks. But even though I was this Clark Kent guy knocking on the door on the king, that's why I was trained. Speak to everybody first come in the room, because that was an incident in my house where, and I know she probably going to hear it, she know what I'm talking about. And he does too, he going to be on the podcast one day. That I came to the house, she didn't say nothing. I said, hey man, I walked in the house, she didn't say nothing. But the in-law, the mother-in-law took up for him. They said he didn't have to speak to me. If you don't come to my house and you sit in my house, you supposed to speak to me first. Then she gave me a scripture that said when people came in the kingdom, they bowed down to the king. See that? And I had to read that again. They bowed down to him when they walked in the kingdom. It's just respect, period. It's no way I'm going to walk into Devon's house with my grandkids and they don't say, how you doing, Mr. Devon?
And see, I was raised,
his house.
and I understand what you're saying.
We raised that way.
See, I was raised like this. I don't care if a woman don't have a job and don't pay none of them bills in the house. I was raised that if you come to a woman's house, you sought her out and you speak to her.
Correct.
No matter where she's
Correct.
at.
Absolutely.
So she is the one that runs that house, no matter what goes on. She's doing the cooking, the cleaning. She's making sure this man is fed, clothed, all this stuff right here. She is the woman of the house, and no matter what, you don't say that in it and all given times. And any one of my friends will tell you, if I show up to their house, I'm gonna speak to them and I'm gonna like, hey, where your wife at? Even if she ain't what's called, I'm gonna stick my head in the door and say, hey, sister, I'm gonna speak to you no matter where you at once I get to your house. Your house. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I step into your domain, it is your place.
Tell you, I'm saying something about it. If somebody come into my house
And don't speak.
Of course, I'm saying something quick.
because it's a problem.
I'm quick.
Like,
Yeah, I'm saying
why would
something
you come to he's married, he has a wife. Why wouldn't you speak? That is crazy. But it's some people out there that are just like that. It's just.
Well, like I said, that starts from that in-law raised that child away. It starts from that. If that child's steering off from that, they get influenced somewhere. But the thing about if they're raised properly, like Devon said, if you're raised properly, like I said, when I go in, I make sure I catch the mother, make sure I speak.
Oh yeah.
No matter what. That's
But like I said, different times, and we was great, and it was a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta tell people, like anytime, like if you a young man and you come to me, this young lady's father and mother for the first time, you look that man in the eye, you shake his hand, and you tell him how you doing, and you introduce yourself. Now, I've been in a place where this was years ago when we was at one of my son's football games. My daughter had one of the little friends come by, and he just come up and sit down. He ain't speaking nothing. And so when he started trying to talk to me, I got up and walked away.
Should have.
I got up and walked away. And then once I gathered myself, I came back. You know, it's other parents all sitting around the mud. I came up and I stood in front of them. I said, "Hey, young man, when you first walked up, I said, have me and you ever talked before?" He's like, "No, sir." I said, "Have we ever went out and had drinks?" "No." I said, "So you should have came up, shook my hand, and introduced me as a man. And you know what I'm saying? Anytime you come in my facility, because I don't know you, you don't know me. You know what I'm saying? So, but you're the one that's trying to get close to somebody that I care about. So, on that aspect, you render. I am saying I'm owed that respect in order for you to come into my area. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I. And at that time, you know what I'm saying, all the other parents around there, they went to clap and shake. I'm like, no, yeah, I wasn't doing it for them, but that's a time and age that's you know what I'm saying, unwavering and just a bad vibe that we're getting away from that we shouldn't get away from. You know what I'm saying? It's something. And I'll tell you one thing too. Like right now with AI. There's a lot of people hate AI. But you know what? I love it because I love a lot of the music going. You know, a lot of people like, boy, it's a bad shame that AI bringing all this soul and they're taking it away from human. I said, no, I'm not mad at whoever's making this song that they felt the need that the soul, and the soul and stuff that's in songs are missing, so they choose to bring it back. Bring it back, you know what I'm saying? Because they seen something that was missing and they choose to bring it back. There's a lot of stuff that's missing in this world today that somebody got to bring it back. If they go by using AI to bring it back, then so be it. It's your tools that you use that can goddamn change the situation. You understand me? If you see a lack in something and something has changed and somebody sees that niche, don't blame them for the niche they choose to bring it back. Because you don't say, well, that's not. No, who told you that? That's a way to get some back here that's doing, you know what I'm saying, something that we had got away from. You can't look at every aspect of life and say, well, no, that one good. Think about it. Just because you had the tools or whatever, or no, nobody else, nah, damn that. Think about going to war. You know what I'm saying? If America got these stealth planes and all that, nobody else got it, that don't mean that they got doggone wrong. That mean they got doggone prep better. They mean that they got doggone seen something that was missing that they choose to bring in to win this battle. If you get away from too much and you lose too much, then guess what? Your past is just gonna be that.
Well, the only reason why I say I react to AI in a certain way is because sooner or later it's gonna take. You know, you see it on TV back then. Y'all just movies. You know, you saw Terminator and all that AI movie, all that stuff.
Matrix, all that.
All the one with Will Smith, and whatever. Yeah. You thought, man, that's just the Jetsons. That was, you know, cartoon. You thought that was just a joke. But this stuff's coming reality.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming to reality.
And think about it.
And the thing is, I know we're getting a little bit off the in-law thing, y'all. But you know, it's a podcast. Talk about anything. But the thing is, you know, like with, you know, in this case, you know, and I hope somebody from Facebook hearing this. Just like we was getting, you know, almost 200,000 views a week. AI shut it down because they want a part of it. So now they're still blocking it unless I give them full control, which I'm not. But they want to instead pay them $15 a month so they can push it. So the thing is, I think about $15 a week, like I said, but they want to have more full control. So the thing is, if it was some way I had, you know, we had some type of control over it. Because once you let them get control and you sign up, they're going to do all the shot calling. So they're going to take the brand. So they're going to take everything. And that's not going to happen. So the thing is, it has a double-edged sword, you can really say, with the AI program. You know, it helps, like I said, in some ways it doesn't. I just don't want to get to the point where we all sitting at home and got a job. Because sooner or later, especially this president in office, you know, a lot of people get mad when I talk about him, but he's a clown. He is.
Yeah, I mean that's duly noted.
But he is Bozo the Clown's great grandson. So the thing is, he is. He's a clown. So, but you know, like I said, and we'll get back on the in-law thing. I promise y'all. But we're gonna close out in a minute. But the thing is, I have my ifs and ands about AI. But like I said, you know, I throw my hands about it. I just don't.
Yeah, but with AI, everything is just like with anything else in the world. You know what I'm saying? Everything has to be governed and got doggone should be took in healthy doses. You understand me? That's with everything: food, TV, cell phones. Everything should be took in a healthy dose. Too much of anything is bad for you. Hell, we all love sweets, we love sex, we love that, but too much of anything can be bad for you.
So we like the double S.
You know what I'm saying?
Sweet and sex.
Yeah.
Sweet and sexy.
Okay.
But I'm gonna get back on this. Cause we're about to get back on this in-law thing. Here's my aspect on the in-law thing. Is me personally, I know for a fact I'm respectful. But if you listen to one in-law and that makes seem like that person's such a bad person, all them fall in line with, they ain't really been. I don't care. I don't care if you like me or love me. I'm not here for you. I never have been. That's on whatever side. You can like me, love me, hate me. Because one thing about Dexter love Dexter. That's what I'm telling you. I used to buy myself flowers, put them in the car, run back in the store, come back and see them in the car like, I got a secret admirer. Read a note, you're sitting there crying. So the thing is, whether
that's damn near borderline narcissist. That's a borderline narcissist. And at the same time, I would at this point I would like to look at Chris and tell you I apologize, and you know what I'm saying, I recognize you as one of the heavenly sent people in this world that had to deal with that right there. I just say,
that's what I meant by, you know, because if I'm not over here stumping a mud hole or breaking the windows and you know, laying up not want to work and all that, and she worked 5-6 jobs, and okay, yeah. But other than that, that's not the case, because you know you gotta forget when you needed who was there, when you want to bring that who was there, who that me. But now I'm this hard person. That's fine. You can hate me all you want. That's fine. I love me, and I know for a fact I have no accountability to make you like me. That's something you have. They call it a you problem. Yeah. So the thing is, in-laws that try to get involved in a relationship, they can help it or hurt it. Like I said, sometimes you need to vent. Yeah. You need to vent. That you have to, because but I just don't really care if you like me or not.
But most good parents who have a good feel of that and understand that, they don't get involved. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so we want to clap it up for them good, because it's some good in-laws. It's some great in-laws. I think my mother and my family, we are some of those, the great
bragging
in-laws.
on you, Miss Gwen.
I'm bragging on my family, period. And to be honest, in most relationships that I've been in, I haven't really had to deal with no in-laws that I didn't get along with, or who didn't like me or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And the guys that I've been involved with, they didn't have to deal with it either, but it does exist. And
as long as I hate you from day one I saw you, I like you now. Go ahead.
But you know one thing about that. But you know one thing about that. But you know truly one thing about that, man. When you first get into a relationship, you might run into in-laws that's apprehensive about you from the beginning. Mm-hmm. But once they get to know you and they know how you is like that, they're your greatest advocate in a relationship and outside the relationship. And so a lot of people sees that, and that's the sign of a good parent who's like, yeah, I'm apprehensive about giving my son or my daughter to you, and I'm gonna let this be known. Right. But at the same time, when you get to know that person and see what kind of person they is, then guess what? Truly, you've earned your spot, because there's nothing in life that's really truly worth something that you didn't have to fight for to get.
And at the end,
whether that's the approval of a good person or a good parent or whatever, look, once you do have it, then you got yourself something good.
And at the end of the day, whatever your situation may be, at the end of the day, it's Crystal's decision. Mm-hmm. And y'all have been together for so many years, so clearly she doesn't have a problem with the way you are, and that is just that's just it. At the end of the day,
right?
It's y'all's marriage, and it's Crystal's decision.
Yeah.
Whatever the situation was, she made her decision to stay with you and make a family, and y'all are still together even after all these
let me correct you. We had the stork that dropped those babies off.
Say what?
We had the stork. People don't believe in the stork. It's a true stork.
See what I'm saying?
Go get the stork.
Crystal's steady trying to get to heaven, and she catching hell the whole way. She's trying to get to heaven and catching hell the whole way.
I gotta give my in-laws something to hate me about. But But I know I got some loved ones, some and one of them, Brian. Happy birthday, Ocho, Brian, birthday. But I do have some that do, but some of them that don't. But then that doesn't bother me. Like I said before, I don't wake up every morning trying to satisfy them or anybody else, because it's just not enough time in the day or time in my life to do that. So
Crystal loves you. That's all that matters.
And that's the thing about it. No matter what goes on in a relationship, love the one you with and love the one that loves you.
That part.
And that's all we look
I
forward to.
just don't really, just had to get some people's insight on that who are probably going through something.
And the thing about it, is that a good feeling? No, it's not. Because at the end of the day, and in a perfect world, you want your family members and who you choose to spend the rest of your life with, or even a great significant of time with, you want them to get along and you want them to have a healthy relationship. This is what we want. Does it all happen all the time? It doesn't. But when it's at the end of the day, it's the two people who are involved with each other's choice and their decision.
Absolutely.
And we have to respect it. It's just that.
Absolutely.
Don't have to like it, but you gotta respect
Absolutely. So, like I said, we're about to wrap this thing up. We're trying to keep this short a little bit. Even though we could talk for hours. But still, like I said, for someone who out there going through something, I hope something has helped you today about in-laws, because some people can't speak on it because they're scared to. But if you don't feel like you need to, hey, you can come to this podcast and talk about it. Mm-hmm. We're unlimited. We don't mind what we talk about, who we talk. We still keep it in a respected manner, but we're gonna open some eyeballs up.
it. And we try to keep people anonymous if we can.
Absolutely. That's why I don't say names. I just say situations. But they know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, because you get their initials.
There's a lot of people with them initials.
They know who are wrong with you.
Right.
That's why I tell you, don't do nothing wrong with this, because he gonna put you on front
At least
street.
I say my favorite cousin, KW.
So that way the rest of y'all ain't shit in her book. They want to let you know you gonna fall short on every situation.
But but the thing is, like I said,
She's gonna be in trouble when she leave here today. She's gonna get a bunch of phone calls today. Hey, I was just calling chick. Don't ask me nothing. Call KW. That's your favorite.
That's your favorite. I was sending you something for Christmas early. You ain't getting it now.
Every time you said your feet hurt, who came and bought you that rug?
What KW?
Who bought you Masada? What KW?
I see my daughter on here for the first time.
So,
Baby.
We like I said, just to wrap it up, and like I said, the one thing about this podcast, y'all see Solange fanning. We are really outside. It's not a stage. It's not a stage. But we're gonna get a cool area.
I'll be out here fighting for my life.
And we get trust disease. We correct all that. We correcting all that. We're gonna have trust. We're gonna have a nice little tent. Probably do a few at Hammer's house and some at Solange. But it's gonna be flexing around. But the thing is, like I said, even though it's the main post here, business addresses here and all that good stuff, but that's nothing to do with y'all. But like I said, preferably someone has gotten somebody today's podcast. I had a few suggestions. Like I said before, someone else talked about this Pritchard police guy, and he's had experience with it, and he really wants to talk about it. That's fine. So he can come on and talk about it. He said he got a lot to say. Maybe open up some eyes people ain't never heard of what he's done. The Kamala Anthony case, and the cop who shot inside the car. My cousin Barrett Bullock out there in Buffalo, New York. He's probably looking as well. Hey, he gave some good insight. He said he would never shot in the car like that. He's a retired police, never knew the kid in there. Mm-hmm. You wanted to commit murder. You have to shoot in the car to stop somebody. I mean, shoot the car tire. Mm-hmm. That's just me. But like I said, perhaps somebody got something out of today's podcast. So we try to do every podcast so somebody gets something out of it. We don't do it just to. I know it's like we having fun, which we are, but we still want to give insight to every person around the world who watches this podcast around Alice State, Alabama, straight out MOBILE, anyone out there watching. But like I said, check us out on Instagram. YouTube. We're gonna have subscribers. You can subscribe YouTube, Facebook. I did say IG already. You want to join? You get on, hit Linktree. Like I said again, shout out to the South Alabama graduates the other night who all just really supported the podcast. It was just a lot of love. A lot of them want to come on. We're going to make sure they come on too. So I think Chris started doing like a women's event on the podcast as well. We didn't get on the.
I want to break anyway.
And we're going to talk about again about women's sports getting paid. We're going to do a part 2 on that, and got a few ladies want to come in on that. We didn't get on the grill today, but we did get some chicken and ham sliders up here.
Oh, Mika on here.
So,
hey, Mika.
you want to go back and watch it, like I said.
Well, Mika, you ain't her favorite either.
Only KW Mika. But like I said, every Wednesday this podcast will be downloaded on YouTube. You gotta wait till Wednesday. Not our choice. It's how they do it. But again, like I said, I just want to thank everyone who consistently follows, who continue to follow, like, and share this podcast. They put it in everybody's home, put in everybody's cell phones, whatever, how they get to them, get it to them. It's gonna be a great podcast. It's gonna continue to grow. We are growing. We have over 600 some followers. We started with 2, and now 6 months later, we had over 630. Close to. So the thing is, it's steady growing. Continue to push this podcast. Continue to like and share it. Come straight out MOBILE-L. We're not going to change coming out of Mobile. We're going to always represent Mobile. No matter how big we're going to get, we're still going to be Mobile, Alabama. So, all hearts are clear, you guys. Y'all got anything else? You want to shout out to KW? But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and open up. Come on, open it up. You come open it up. Come look at it. Go shoot it up. So,
I was just trying not to because some flies going to.
yeah, we said the flies going to get it. We want to show y'all the food, but I don't want all the flies. The flies are waiting on it too. I told you we outside. So, but they are chicken sliders and ham sliders. They are amazing. But like I said, we're going to start displaying the food more. Probably saran wrap, whatever's clear stuff, saran wrap, thinks what it is. That way people can see our chiffon dish with a glass top, so you can see we really do cook here as well. The concept is by the grill, so we got to keep that concept going. But, as always, these are my props too. My props. As always, when the spatula goes down, podcast is over. Peace out, everybody. See you next Sunday.